In front of me are two laptops. This is the MSI Creator 16 AI Studio. This is my work laptop. I've been using it for about the past 6 to 8 months or so. And this other laptop right here is the M4 Pro MacBook Pro that I only picked up a couple weeks ago. If you're wondering why I decided to pick up this MacBook Pro, I talked about it in a previous video, but to briefly recap it, I wanted to have a separate machine for all of my personal projects, and I wanted to try something different from the typical 15 to 16-inch Windows laptop that I'm so accustomed to, and I decided to go with this 14-inch M4 Pro. Now, the last time I used a MacBook Pro regularly was when I was in college. I had a 2010 model and it was still powered by Intel inside. I wanted to pick up a laptop that was geared more for photo and video editing, and from what I can tell, general online sentiment was saying that Apple Silicon does pretty well with these workflows, but they also offer something that you don't really get from Windows laptops, and that's battery efficiency and performance on battery. To compare the performance of these two laptops, I decided to run PugetBench in Photoshop, Premiere Pro, and DaVinci Resolve. I only picked these three benchmarks because I'm pretty familiar with these programs, and I think the scores would help to quickly tell me just how well does Photoshop, Premiere Pro, and DaVinci Resolve run on these two machines. And two, I severely underestimated just how long benchmarking can take, especially when one of the machines is your work laptop and it's tied up for 8 hours a day. Here's my testing parameters. I ran the test 5 times on both machines when they were plugged in and on battery mode, and I took the average of the 5 tests. The first thing I want to point out is the performance of the MacBook Pro when it's plugged in or on battery power, because the scores for all 3 tests were about the same to one another. But when it comes to the Creator 16, there is a bigger score gap. Based off the PugetBench scores, the MacBook Pro beats the Creator 16 in Photoshop and DaVinci Resolve, and vice versa for Premiere Pro, as long as the Creator 16 is plugged into power. Now, I did run one more test, albeit a little bit more manual. I took a clip and applied 2 effects to it inside DaVinci Resolve and timed how long it took for DaVinci Resolve to apply those effects. The MacBook Pro applied the Magic Mask effect in about 1 minute and 13 seconds, and the Surface Tracker effect about 1 minute and 20-ish seconds. Whereas on the Creator 16, it took over 4 minutes to apply the Magic Mask effect and over 3 minutes for the Surface Tracker. I then exported these clips, and it took about 17 to 18 seconds for the MacBook Pro and about 30 to 31 seconds for the Creator 16. I'm a bit surprised at these results. The 14-inch MacBook Pro beat the 16-inch Creator 16 AI Studio in both Photoshop and DaVinci Resolve, and was only a little bit behind Premiere Pro when the Creator 16 was plugged in. Another thing I want to note was when I was running these benchmarks on the MacBook Pro, I barely heard the fan spin up, and when it did, it wasn't all that audible, whereas with the Creator 16, the fans would kick on pretty regularly and pretty loudly. If you only do photo and video editing, the MacBook Pro looks like a pretty compelling choice, especially if you can get it on a discount. I picked this one up on sale at Micro Center for $2,040 US, and that's before taxes and fees and Apple Care. With 3-year Apple Care and the taxes and fees, it came out to just under $2,500 US. For $2,500 US in total, I think I got a pretty good deal with this machine. Now, granted, I didn't take a look at gaming on a Mac because that wasn't part of my consideration when I picked up this machine. So if you have a Steam games library, or if you play games on Epic Games Launcher that you want your laptop to be able to play on, or if you do 3D work or use CAD software, a Windows laptop could make more sense for you. There's not a one-size solution that fits all. I'm just really excited to take this MacBook Pro with me on my travels, and hopefully I made a good decision in purchasing a tool that helps me create photos and video content faster and more easily. Because at the end of the day, regardless if you're Windows or Apple, they're tools. They're tools that enable us to do what we want to do or to create what we want to create. So in my case, I really want this MacBook Pro to help me and aid me in the creation of my photos and videos. That's going to be it for this video. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.